Jean-Paul Sartre's Being and Nothingness, an essay in phenomenological ontology, 1943, stands as a foundational pillar within the existentialist philosophical movement. Sartre, a notable figure of the 20th century in both writing and philosophy, crafted this work during his internment in a prisoner of war camp amid World War II. The book delves into intricate theories of consciousness, nothingness, self-identity, essences, and freedom. It not only engages with the existing tapestry of existentialist theories but also meticulously shapes and defines them into a cohesive ideology. By challenging established notions of essences and purpose, Sartre asserts that individuals construct their own meaning by authentically living their lives. This opus remains his most seminal contribution, igniting ongoing philosophical discussions that persist in contemporary discourse. Penned within the confines of a Nazi war camp in 1941, French philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre composed Being and Nothingness, an homage to Martin Heidegger's Being and Time that had captivated him with its early existentialist tenets. The treatise, titled as a tribute to Heidegger's work, outlines the fundamental tenets of existentialism. Sartre decisively challenges the conventional notion that humans possess an intrinsic essence from birth, contending that the world exists in a state of inherent meaninglessness. Human existence, according to Sartre, inherits a legacy of struggle, navigating a senseless world, striving to decipher life's intricacies amidst an abundance of freedom and the absence of clear directives. Within this framework, Sartre proposes that the most unequivocal course of action is to live authentically, making choices based on one's own values and ideas, liberated from conventional traditions and societal moral standards. Sartre further advocates the abandonment of externally imposed constructs of ethics, theology, and laws, which are rooted in concepts of higher authority and power. Instead, individuals should confront the absurdity inherent in their existence, construct their own moral frameworks, and base their decisions on their inherent free will. Sartre's work is hailed as the inaugural systematic exposition of existentialist principles as a comprehensive movement. Being and Nothingness encapsulates three pivotal themes that will be explored in this guide: the significance of authenticity, the fallacy of essence and identity, and modes of being. In the introduction, the author elucidates the fundamental structure of his argument and refutes early conceptualizations of ontology, which concerns the nature of existence. Sartre unequivocally rejects the concept of essences, a long-standing pillar in philosophical inquiry tracing back to ancient Rome. He contends that the belief in an intrinsic true nature obscures a clear understanding of the intricacies of human experience. By foregrounding phenomenology, philosophers can gain deeper insights into the essence of being human and existing. Sartre contends that philosophers must temporarily suspend their preconceived belief systems to objectively examine existence. He advocates for a comprehension of existence that emerges from direct observations, employing perception to engage with the world and dissecting being through phenomena. Any perspective on the world that sidesteps the concept of meaninglessness taints true understanding and disconnects individuals from leading authentic lives. In Part 1, Sartre constructs a case for the coexistence of being and nothingness. He posits that humans embody both concepts, which essentially converge. Nothingness becomes an intrinsic facet of human existence, and being is both generated from and synonymous with nothingness. While humans can discern negations within the world and within themselves, they also possess the capacity to create negations. Sartre introduces the notion of bad faith as a way in which humans achieve this, when an individual lives inauthentically by embracing false notions of purpose and meaning. Bad faith encompasses self-deception, leading only to a sense of melancholy, according to Sartre. To counteract this, humans can embrace sincerity in their existence, but defining what authenticity entails for each individual can be intricate, particularly in a life ultimately devoid of inherent meaning. In Part 2, Sartre revisits his thoughts on negations and delves into being for itself, a state of consciousness. He outlines the essence of being by contrasting it with what it is not. Sartre dismantles various ontological notions, including the idea that introspection engenders consciousness. Instead, he argues that awareness of one's existence emerges concurrently with existence itself. Additionally, this section explores time and challenges the linear human comprehension of temporality. Sartre posits that time should not be compartmentalized into discrete past, present, and future fragments, but rather perceived as an integrated continuum within consciousness. Within this chapter, Sartre establishes a linkage between being in itself and being for itself, discarding the notion that these two aspects are entirely isolated from one another. He contends that consciousness relies on the interplay between these facets, where one recognizes its own existence by distinguishing itself from the other. Part 3 focalizes on the role of the other in shaping consciousness. Sartre introduces 3 ontological principles of the other, demonstrating how the presence of the other constructs self-awareness, or consciousness. Humans apprehend their own identities through negation, understanding themselves by what they are not, as compared to the other. Further, they grasp their own identities by observing a third point involving the other, and they gain self-awareness because the other perceives them. It is crucial to recognize that know here doesn't refer to factual knowledge, rather, it signifies an awareness that expands through the relational dynamics between the self and other being for itself. Next, Sartre directs his attention toward the body and its role within consciousness. The philosopher posits that the body constitutes consciousness itself. This notion aligns with his consistent rejection of dualities, encompassing even the dichotomy between the internal and external self. In Part 4, Sartre concludes by asserting that every individual possesses the inherent freedom to act. People retain the agency to decide where they wish to be and how they choose to shape their lives. Nonetheless, he acknowledges the inherent constraints on this freedom, acknowledging that not all human encounters with existence are equitable. Sartre further elaborates that all individuals share a common thread of desire, an integral aspect of consciousness that unveils insights into both bad faith and authenticity. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.